Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And this is different from our usual things, as we often do, but it's got a fantasy comedy and...
Well, it works in the fantasy
it works in
and
the
stuff.
area.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
anyway...
But something different.
It's something different.
Yeah.
So, it's called Romantic Killer, and it was released this year.
Yeah, and actually in October, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just released in October, and it just came out, and it's an anime, like a manga, if you will, Japanese manga, which is a good series so far, and went directly to Netflix.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was serialized on a website back in June of 2020. That must have been the comic book version, I think. Yeah.
So far, I've been halfway through the comic book series at the moment. I just previously watched the TV series just last 2 weeks ago, and I really have enjoyed it, actually. It surprised me, and it has really put me on the edge of my seat watching it.
Yeah. Lately, Sarah's been getting into watching these Asian manga anime with real human beings in them. But this one is a bit more of a not.
Yeah.
It's actually an animated one. So, what's the difference? It's just...
lately it's...
just something different.
In the past, I mentioned that I haven't watched anime in, say, years. I did watch a bit of it when I was in high school a little bit. It was the fad that went around
a long time
school.
Ago.
So
now, when I was a young boy, a long time ago, we had Astro Boy and Prince Planet and stuff back in those days, which was sort of early stage of the anime stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Astro Boy, a few episodes.
The original one?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the original.
I think they made a remake of it, which is a bit better, but the original one was really a lot of still. I thought it was a lot of still panel sort of stuff.
Anyway, it was all two-dimensional stuff. So
it was very two. Even and a half even.
After that, I watched Sailor Moon, which was not too bad.
That was pretty nice.
It was pretty good for its time. For the 90s.
Hey, who can forget Samurai Pizza Cat? Hey.
Oh, that was really hilarious.
She used to like that.
That, I liked it a little bit, but it was a bit crazy. But then again, anime is always crazy.
Yeah, it's always weird. It's funny, it's weird, it's strange.
I think the next one on my chopping block was Pokemon and Digimon. And Yu-Gi-Oh, which kind of sparked the whole trading card,
I think so,
game thing.
That rings a bell,
I haven't... most of my friends would get into it. I've seen them at the special Comic-Con conventions where they would often do this sort of thing. It's interesting, but I never got into that level of fandom.
Neither. Actually,
it wasn't my thing.
Some countries are different here.
Although I used to trade the cards, like if I got them in chip packets, and trade them in for other things.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe, I'm not sure, maybe you guys in America can confirm this. I think a big thing in America, they did a lot of trading cards like baseball cards and other things over the years.
It was a fad that went on.
But in Australia, we didn't get into it. We did have football cards and football stickers and that sort of stuff. But I always remember when I was a young kid still at school a long time ago when I think the Outer Limits might have actually had a set of cards, and I got a couple of Outer Limits cards. I started to collect them, but they were hard to get, so I stopped collecting them. And I think Star Trek might have had trading cards back in those days.
I've no doubt, Mike.
But it had been around for a long time.
But as I said before, Pokemon, it kind of went through a very big fad at the time when I was in high school.
Well, kiddies did like them, and you were a kiddie.
Well, I watched the series just like all my other friends did, and I didn't go seriously into collecting the action figures or collecting the cards or just pretty much buying the videos or DVDs. I just went for the flow for a bit, and when it went... I went my own way and I changed my direction, and then I just moved on.
About the show?
Anyway, this has been a while since I've actually sat down and watched an anime like this one, because I think it sparks an interesting new development in the series. Anyway, so this one is.
I can't go into producers and.
No, not this one, guys.
And other things quite easily in this one, so we're just going to roll into telling the story.
Yeah, and there's a Japanese version, and there's a Canadian voice version of this.
They did one for the Asian market, the Japanese market, one for the English market.
Yeah.
Obviously, they must have released it in Canada first, so they did it in English.
It was a bit of a relief to find one that didn't require subtitles.
It's very nice.
I mean, I don't like having to read, and I like listening to an English
Actually, what I will do, before you tell us, I will mention some of the names of the people who did the voices.
Okay, cool.
Here we go. Okay, Asian names again. Here we go. Our main lady in animated person, Anzu Hoshino, was voiced by Deneen Medley. Riri was voiced by Courtney Lin. Oh, Lord.
Oh, they're not exactly Japanese names.
Tsukasa Kazuki. Right, he's voiced by Jason Griffith. Junta Hayami is voiced by Alex Lee. We're getting there. Oh, crikey. Hizuri Kojani was done by Kellen Jeff. And the stalking lady, Saki Takamine, was voiced by Jenny Yokobori. Okay, I'm not going to make myself look an idiot by... oh, no, that wasn't her. She was a stalker lady, sorry.
Moron.
Wrong page.
He's a moron.
Yeah, Mr. Moron. Okay, here. Yukana Kishi was voiced by Jesse Valinsky. Okay, there you go.
There you go, folks.
My mistake.
Anyway, I'll dive into the story, guys. So the story begins. It's about a girl named Anzu, whose only loves in life are the following: her cat, chocolate, and video games.
And who wouldn't when you're a teenager?
Yeah, she's beginning high school. She's like a junior, I guess, in American terms.
Well, I gather, I can't tell you.
And
they all look the same age.
Yeah, anyway, she goes back home and she's starting to do this new video game thing, and eventually this weird creature comes out of it named Riri, who wants her to start, getting into the real world and having budding romances with guys.
Experience love affairs the way a normal person would,
Yeah, something to do with the fact, something about the birth rate, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, something about the birth rate and...
something about the fact that not many girls are chasing after guys. Anyway... So she confiscates all her three major loves: the chocolate, her cat, and the video games. Yeah. Her video games are replaced by jerky, which is a bit weird inside the DVD cases, which is kind of funny. And the chocolate has been nibbled up by Riri. And her mother and her father...
They're going away for holiday?
No, they're not going away on holiday, Mike. They're relocated to America while Anzu is forced to stay home because she has school, technically.
What every kid wants. Mum and Dad, bugger off, stay home... Party time, whatever you like.
So she has to stay there alone for 3 or 2 years.
Yeah, whatever. They did come back early, though.
They do eventually, but that was only when crisis happens. Anyway, she is forced to a situation. She tries to go to the markets to find chocolate to comfort her soul, but the shops are empty.
All the chocolate is gone.
Yeah, the cupboards are bare, technically.
Well, this Riri person thinking it's a magical critter and makes all the chocolate disappear when she goes anywhere near it.
Anyway,
How about
when
that?
she's in the
Good way to
shop,
do a diet.
she runs into, literally, what's his name? Tuska. What's the name of the first guy? The hot guy?
You would ask that, wouldn't you?
Sorry, I'm bad with names. Especially...
Yeah, right. Okay, what's his name? Is that number one, is it?
Yeah, first one.
On that one there,
Sakasa. And
Yeah.
he is a nice, quiet, but doesn't want a relationship type of guy in this series. He's nice, and all the girls at his school, that's Anzu's school.
Everybody wants to hit him because he's a good-looking guy. He's really cool.
All the girls at his school, any girls on the street want to say hello and would you like to go out for coffee?
It comes over as very cold, a little bit, say, snobbish and aloof, but he's not really. He has a secret.
Very. Anyway, she eventually leaves him, and at one point, during a crisis with a cockroach, she gets him to swat it for her. Swat.
See, females need us guys. Hey, right.
And he was forced by, coincidentally, a huge rainstorm was happening, which caused him to stay at Anzu's house.
Yeah, it'd be like a big storm, so he couldn't go home.
Yeah,
Oh, what a shame.
with flying objects flying at the door.
Funny, hey?
Funny. Ha, ha, ha.
Ho-ho, very much ho-ho. Yeah.
Anyway, Riri sees this as an opportunity to spice things up for dear Anzu. But
Magic in the air.
Riri and Anzu is well prepared for this. She decides to not cook a home-cooked meal because she didn't think that would spice things up. So she cooks just 5-minute noodles.
Well, I don't think she knows how to cook all that well.
No, she knows how to make stir-fry, which is... Well, maybe not be very...
Well, anyone can make stir-fry. I like to think anyone can make stir-fry. I can make stir-fry. But I know my way around the kitchen.
Anyway, the guy doesn't object to a 5-minute noodles. They eat it, and they start playing games. Some child games. And, of course, the second game, he wins out from default because of Riri's influence.
Yeah, whatever.
And this forces... during this time, she betted that whoever loses has to make their lunches for school. So
yeah.
she was the one who ended up making the lunches. Although he offered to help. He's actually
very good.
He kind of works part-time in a restaurant, restaurant, he says, in the kitchen.
Cafe, something or other, yeah.
Yes. So he helps her make some nice, good food to eat for lunch the next day. Anyway, they're about to sit down for cards. Then Riri appears and says, "Why aren't you playing cards games like children? You should be snuggling, warming up to each other."
Yeah, wink, nudge,
yeah,
say no more.
But he's obviously not in the mood because she's dressed. Anzu's wearing something that was only taken out of the hamper. That looks like something I would not think of very sexy, but she's also wearing glasses, which is not really. Not that stuff. Anyway.
Glasses are okay. I wear glasses.
Technically, that's okay. And anyway, Riri decides to hit her on the head and whack her into sleep mode.
Oh, what a shame.
And she starts to get cozy up to Tuska. I mean, what's his name? I'm bad with Chinese names.
Look, that guy.
Yeah.
Do you want to call him Sakasa or Kazuki?
Kazuki, I guess.
Kazuki is his last name.
Okay, Kazuki.
Okay.
No, I think I'll say his first name, stupid me.
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa soon has Anzu lying on his lap for a bit in the morning, and she freaks out. Like, any other girl would freak out. Anyway, she eventually makes her escape, and soon enough, spreads like wildfire about her and about the guy that stayed over at her house. Because his phone's damaged, and he phoned the school to tell that his home was badly damaged due to the wet weather.
Yeah, the water came in from the roof and stuff.
Yeah, so he decides to try to find a new accommodation, but which is difficult because they're filled up somehow.
Bugger.
I doubt it.
Oh, there you go then.
Fat chance.
Well,
Anyway, he then meets up with Anzu and asks to stay for a couple more days. And then, out of chance, later on, we meet her second love interest in this game of... this
love game.
This is called...
The Love Boat. No, sorry.
Yeah, whose name's Junta, who's an ex-friend of hers when she was a kid.
Yeah, he's a little chubby little kitty you know he liked, and he got to be a rather handsome young man who plays baseball, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's really good-looking, tall, rather handsome, and he's has a huge crush on her since school.
Well, she's cute, I suppose, for a cartoon character, you know.
And she doesn't have any recollection of him. She thinks this is all Riri's influence, trying to hypnotize the guys into falling for her, even though we've already established the first one is not technically romantically interested in her at all at the moment. But Junta is clearly infatuated with her. Well, not clearly infatuated, like as in clingy infatuation like that. It's pretty clear there is flames there, technically. Anyway, he's invited soon enough to the girls at the school, want her to set up a relationship with the first one, but she respects his wishes for not dating.
Yeah.
So she puts her foot down and says, sorry, not going to help you. Leave him alone. He does not want a relationship at the moment. And Riri comes into her human form and tries to mess up the whole scenario by embarrassing the girls and embarrassing the poor guys as she tries to invite Junta to dinner. And this is weird because I think two guys with one girl is an awkward situation.
Not necessarily.
This is my personal opinion. Because if two guys are possibly interested in the same girl, that's going to be a very awkward situation.
Well, they can play different games after dinner.
Anyway, so...
Sorry.
So Anzu tries to wear her same outfit, although Riri tries to interfere, tries to get her to wear something other than that. But technically, her cupboards are full of cat clothes. She's got...
Now, we don't mean she's dressed like a cat. Every dress she has, or T-shirt, or top, or pullover, has a cat on it.
Yeah.
She loves cats. Her
obsessed.
bag she takes to school has a cat on it. She has a cat key ring. You got it. She's cat crazy.
Exactly so. Okay. Anyway, so they sit down for tea. They're eating and talking, and Riri tries to make out that whoever gets, she tries to do scissors, paper, rock, and in order to get Anzu to go with one of them. But unfortunately, Anzu sees through her plan and decides to grab her wand, and they quickly go out to get some ice creams.
Mm-hmm.
And then, out of the nowhere, when they're fighting over her wand, it falls into...
some dog poo.
And that kind of contaminates the wand. And
Well, I wouldn't touch it.
Which allows her Riri not to cast any magic spells for the next 24 hours.
Exactly.
Or less than that,
or
I'm not
whatever.
sure.
Or whatever. There was a problem there.
Yeah. Anyway, as the girls get the ice creams, the guys start talking about their interests in Anzu.
Yeah.
And Junta is quite taken by this, and he's worried that with a guy like this first one, obviously, he's worried that this would develop feelings between them, and he's worried about this sort of thing. Anyway, soon enough, the next couple of days, I should mention, Junta tries to go to her house again with the pretense of bringing her some food that he plans on giving to her for lunch next day.
We some food occasionally.
Ha ha.
Sorry.
And Anzu somehow discovers an underwear thief who was stealing her mother's underwear. And soon enough, Jonta was able to save the day by tackling the guy to the ground, and the police arrive and arrested the guy, and he's sent away to the locker. Anyway, soon enough, Jonta's mom phones them and tells her, seeing as Anzu is alone at her home a lot, she should have protection. So she offers Jonta as a security guard. Or bodyguard, anyway.
Who's going to protect her from him?
Anyway, now we have 2 guys under her roof. And they don't want to share.
Bad girls.
I agree. Anyway, she tries to get them to sleep in a 2-bedroom room, but they said no way. I guess they don't. It
was a twin share. It wasn't a double. You know.
I know that. Anyway, soon enough, they settle into a routine. No romantic things. There's no hand holding. No flirting. Just
no spin the bottle or. Truth or dare.
Riri tries to look over her reports and found that there's 0 romantic entanglements at this time. Anyway, she tries to spice things up by sending a 3rd guy into the ring, obviously. And this one I'm not too particularly interested in either, if I was her either.
What's his name?
Blah, blah.
Hizuri.
He's a wealthy. He's going to be
a young man who's very, very wealthy. He comes from a rich family.
Very spoiled.
And he's not used to dealing with the peasants. Okay.
Yeah, he tries to win. I'm sure. Anzu, she actually runs into his car accidentally, and he takes as a hint that she did it on purpose to get his attention. Yeah, and he says this because he's had this sort of scenario happen to him before.
Yeah, girls trying to get him because he's rich. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he then takes her out, tries to take her out for lunch.
Because to make up for his car hitting her.
But she sees through this act, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in this way." And he even offers to give her a very expensive dress that was like $900.
Yeah, and some jewelry and stuff. And she threw all the stuff back in the car.
Telling him that she's not romantically interested, and she's not one of those girls
he's used to pushing away. Yeah.
But he decides to use her favorite things to get her to finally admit that she likes him. But it doesn't work that way because even though Riri says that she'll allow her to keep the gifts, provided that she go out with him, I would not get...
And she had all his computer games. She had chocolate. What was the other thing?
Kitty cats.
And one of those little carry cages with about 3 or 4 cats in it.
Oh, that's so cute.
I would have buckled. I would have buckled. I love cats.
I would not be so sure about it.
Pretty good
I don't think I would like to be buckled down with the guy. I mean, if he was a snob like him, I don't think I would like it.
Yeah, but then again, look at all, you got 3 cats.
You have 3 cats.
A bucket of chocolate.
And video games, but I don't think I would like to be buckled down with him. It would mean breaking Jonta's heart and breaking the other guy's heart. Yeah. And I don't think I would like to live with myself feeling like I just broke a guy's heart because I just went with the guy with the most money. I don't know.
Money does make the world go around in some ways.
I know, but it is kind of heartbreaking. Anyway, she then tells him off, and then later on, he actually comes to her. She's taken up a part-time job to pay for the bills and do whatever.
Yeah, well, Mum and Dad didn't lose too much money, I don't think. So, it's a simple case that...
it's a simple case of supporting herself. A part-time job for when you're at school, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he starts working at the same place. It's a sort of, I guess... I
wonder how they end up at the same place.
I don't know. I think he
pulled
a
few
strings.
magical critter Riri did something?
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, he soon starts getting a fan base at this local establishment.
Of course, he's very, very good.
And he's very, very popular because he's
good looking.
He's got a good looking aura about him.
And he has this way of his customer service. Even though it's a little bit robotic, everyone thinks he's genuine. So they like to be served by this young man. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, she warms up to him, and they have a nice treat in the park, which is nice. At first, we think she starts seeing his nice quality a little, I should say, but she whacks her back to reality, saying that this is still not real, according to her.
Nah.
Anyway, soon enough, the group starts getting more and more chummy, and I should mention Rio even tries to get in on the action by becoming a guy, like transforming into a guy. She has a male transformation, and now she has her female transformation, and now a male transformation. And so they go on a mock.
Funny that, hey.
Yeah. So they go on a mock date, and they ran into the three crushes, the three guys.
Suzuki, Tsukasa, Junta, and the other guy.
Yeah. And along the way, they kind of either freak them out or get them thrown a bit, because it will get them to challenge the fact that they will step up to the plate and try to date Anzu.
You're trying to build up a little bit of jealousy or something, yeah?
Exactly. So, of course, Anzu is most affected because Rio kind of kisses Anzu before they departed the evening.
Okay.
And as I said before, Junta is a bit of a... He gets hit really deeply whenever
he's an emo boy, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Despite his really strong masculine qualities, he's still got a bit of a touch of feminism in there.
Well, no, you got a gentle side.
A gentle side to him.
Yes, not a feminine side, but okay, you can say he got that sensitivity that females often have.
I agree. It's kind of really funny, that one.
Nothing wrong with being sensitive, new age guy.
I have no judgments about that. Anyway, soon enough, the group eventually start hanging out at a festival of sorts. I never went to one of these.
Is it a fair or a festival?
It's a festival. One of those Japanese festivals where you have to wear
costumes,
traditional Japanese clothing, and it goes really well. They enjoy each other's company, hang out, and eventually they enjoy some fireworks and stuff. But then we find out later on there is a dark thing that's going to happen in the next last episodes. Yeah, 2 last episodes.
Last episode or 2, whatever.
Yeah, where it deals with
the quiet guy.
The quiet guy, the first one,
Tsukasa,
gets a stalker or has a stalker.
That's why he's been avoiding females.
Yeah,
because
because in the past he was living with his parents, and then he developed a stalker, a 20-something-year-old lady who starts.
She tripped over in front of him accidentally. He picked up her bag and gave it to her, and she started stalking him.
Yeah.
So that's why he ended up leaving home and avoiding female acquaintances.
Yeah, because she started pestering him when he's going back and forth from school, and she drugged him and snuck into his house and started taking and accessed his social media accounts and starts
Facebook or TikTok,
and start accessing his photos and starts tampering with them to make out that they're having a bit of Photoshop jobs. And
rude.
And then his father tells him that you should have not let her on. It's not his fault. Guys, as I said in the past, it's never always the guy's fault.
Dad's a real prat.
I've said this in the past, guys, almost a lot. I mean, they always think it's the girl's fault. I mean, the girls who get the guy's juices flowing, but it's usually the other way around.
I've had that problem.
Yeah, I haven't. Anyway, this sort of thing does happen in real life. It's scary, and it's really freaky how it's starting to dive into reality a bit in these episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway, So this is the reason why Takasa left his home. He started developing a nervousness around other females because he's worried that if he so much
Get another one.
Interacts with them,
Yeah.
he'll feel like he'll freeze up and starts feeling like this will happen
Well,
again.
you know that story, Stephen King on Misery.
Yes.
You know, he was a stalker.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, not really. Yeah.
Yes, he was. She orchestrated an accident, dragged him into her house, and
Drugged him and damaged his leg.
And Cameron damaged his leg and made him a prisoner and different things. And yeah.
Anyway, Takasa tells this to Anzu, and he tells her about how he decided to move out of home and restart his life in a different school. Of course, his stalker, she's been reported, but let off the hook by her uncle. I guess he's a lawyer or a wealthy person.
An important lawyer or something or other, yeah. So he has ways and means of getting her out of trouble.
Yes, they even tried to get the police involved, and they've filed a restraining order against her if she so much as do any more damages. She even goes on to say that they had a relationship, that he hanged out.
Did they?
Yeah.
No.
Her mother thinks it's the girl boy's fault, no doubt. She doesn't see that her daughter's got a serious problem at the moment.
Exactly.
Creating illusions which don't exist in her head, and not realizing that the danger she's letting loose in the world.
Well, that's the way it goes, kiddies, isn't it?
Anyway, they are told by the. So anyway, Anzu decides to keep an eye out for her friend's sake, and she even embraces him and says that she if this would have happened, she would have never left his side and never doubt his friendship.
See,
and
true love does conquer.
And Tataska, he is happy because he feels like he's found a real friend, and he wishes that he could have met her years ago. He would know that deep down she would have been on his side.
Yes, lovely.
It's a nice gesture.
Very nice.
Anyway, so meanwhile, this stalker girl starts seeing Anzu as a new threat to her love affair with him. So she sends some ruffians because she threatened them to expose them for either smoking or doing something illegal.
Wrong, so she threatened them. So she said, I'll report you if you don't do something for me. So she got them to
go there and probably either rape or hurt her.
Or beat her up or something, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I don't think they're going to rape her.
It doesn't seem like a rape scenario.
They're going to beat her up a bit. Yeah, give her
beat
a hard
her up,
time,
maybe.
Yeah.
And
give her a warning. Make her an offer she couldn't refuse. Yeah.
Or something. Anyway, but little did she know, Riri sends multiple emails to both her friend and to Junta and to another guy, and this is all the groups, all their friendship groups arrived there and were able to save her from a possible
being beaten up or whatever.
Fortunately, we find out these two guys were friends or ex-friends, known by one of the her friend Anzo's friends, whose brother knew them, and he asked them why they're doing this, and they then tell them about how the stalker girl goes out, told them to go out and try to find her and try to hurt her.
There you go, then, hey, right.
Yeah, and Takasa, he has second thoughts of being with Anzu because he's realizing that he's put her in massive danger.
See, he's a good boy, isn't he,
and he thinks that maybe he should leave, but Anzu says, no, we'll sit down and discuss this and we'll work it out together. Anyway, she goes to her room and Riri's there, or Rio, I should say, because he's in man form.
That's right, yeah.
And there, he tells her that he was the one who sent the multiple messages to her friends to come and assist her. And she's grateful to this. Of course, most of the time she likes to thump the creep.
Whatever.
Anyway, she then tells him, why don't you zap a protective barrier over Takasa so he could be protected from the stalker. But Riri shakes her head saying, sorry, I can only use my magic to help you in your love life.
Yeah, to fall in love and stuff.
And Riri, I mean...
I could have had one of those. I could have done one of those years ago.
Gets annoyed and takes Riri's wand and throws it onto...
Another
pile of dog poop again.
What a great aim. From out a window out on the footpath into a pond.
And she then tells Riri that she does not want to talk to anyone else that was heartless or anything like that. So she slams the door on Riri, and Riri ponders the fact that now that her magic is out of whack again, she won't be able to help Anzu in any more predicaments. Anyway, the next couple of days, there is no sign of the stalker, you know, the usual stuff. And the Anzu is getting protected around the clock. She's make sure that she has an escort to take her home from work and stuff like that. And what's the name of the boy who's wealthy again?
Buggerlugs. Hijiri
even offers his help by giving her his security guard /
chauffeur, whatever he is. Yep.
See, he has her bit of a chauffeur who is like always in the same area as who
he protects him and drives him around and stuff.
Anyway, he offers to help in any way. Of course, in a snobby way, he just says, "I'm not that I care," or anything like that. Type of attitude. But you know, deep down, he cares.
In a fatal way.
In a funny little way, he does care. Anyway, as Anzu is about to leave to her work, she runs into the stalker who has a very big, sharp knife with her.
Yes. A Norman Bates type knife, carving knife.
Or Michael Myers type knife. But probably the same one, I don't know.
Why don't you get Jason Voorhees hatchet and just be really...
I don't know, it's too dangerous. I don't think anyone would get...
hatchet and a machete,
Anyway, she then cuts, and then we get to the final episode of the series, where the group finds out that they didn't find Anzu around, and they decide to separate to try to find her. Unfortunately, luckily enough, Takasa was able to find them behind the store that Anzu works and sees that Anzu is bleeding from the head.
That's where this mean girl swiped the knife at her and just grazed her forehead. Lucky.
Yeah, the stalker turns and she tries to approach Takasa again, trying to say, "You came for me, my love," stuff like that. And Takasa, growing some extra balls from being with Anzu.
He grew some extra balls. He got 4, has he?
Don't be rude.
Sorry.
Anyway, he's finally grew a bit and was able to slap the girl, the stalker, and tell her that he's not her love, yada yada yada. He doesn't want anything to associate with her again. But of course, the stalker's like saying in denial, like, "I know you were just upset." And then Anzu then blocks the stalker, telling her that no matter what, she's gonna always be there for Takasa, and she'll never leave his side. And then we hear a police siren, I guess, and I should mention Takasa's sister, who is also at the scene, who's a nice girl, and she then tells the police that the stalker is armed and considered very dangerous. Then we arrive at the hospital where Takasa, his dad, his mum, and his sister, and the rest of the group are waiting for outside the emergency room to see if Anzu is in any serious medical care, is in good care. And she's okay. She's just got a graze on her forehead.
Yeah.
Not a serious scratch.
Nah.
Just a few
flesh
stitches.
wound, folks. Not a problem.
Yeah. Takasa's dad approaches and says that he's sorry for his son and what their family put them through, her and her family in. He even tries to force a bow out to Takasa and forces him to come home. But luckily enough, Anzu approaches and grabs Takasa's hand and tells the dad off by saying, "You should have been there for your son," and all that stuff. Especially today, all that stuff. And then they head off back to her place, resolved that Takasa does not have to put up with his angry, bitchy dad.
Well, Dad's got an attitude problem.
He's got this whole horrible nastiness about him. Anyway, they head back to the house, and I think both the mother, Takasa's mom, and her sister, they kind of are like Anzu a little bit. And they then, when they were back at the house, they are worried that the stalker will no doubt buy her way out and go back to stalking poor Takasa again.
However,
for goodness sake. But luckily enough, we then get Riri was able to intercept and check out and spy on
what is it?
Yeah, the wealthy posh spoiled brat kid telling the stalker's uncle that he's not allowed to pull any strings and get her out of jail again.
So
whatever
the mean little girl's parents have to live with it. Parent, mum, whatever.
Yeah, the mother.
Stuff the fact that daughter's a creep.
Yeah, the mother tries to beg her brother to release her daughter, but there's no out of jail card for a stalker who just tempt murder.
Yeah. Anyway,
then Riri says that now that the stalker's in custody, she thinks this is not good enough. So she goes to where she is, and she erases
her memory
of Takasa and
Takasa and her interactions and whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, Anzu's parents, they arrive back early, and they, of course, smother her with kisses, hugs, missed her, and give her presents and shopping.
And brought the cat back.
Yeah. Also, before I mention this, Riri approaches Anzu and tells her that he's done for the day and he's gone. And Riri is confused. I mean, Anzu's confused. She's given her chocolates, her games, and her cat back, and now what's happened to the magical barrier that allows her not to have any chocolate in her games?
And no pussycat.
There's something wrong, technically.
Riri has failed.
Yeah. So anyway, later that night, I think, I'm not sure.
Didn't reach their KPIs.
Anzu goes downstairs and she meets this new wizard. I should mention that Riri and this other wizard, they're actually wizards from another world that's sort of helping girls to find love, I should mention. Anyway, this new wizard is named Kate, and Kate tells her the big bad news that Riri did taboo magic, which means that she did magic that was not supposed to be contracted for her to help Anzu against the stalker.
Nah.
Anyway, the two boys, I should mention, they're still living on the same roof. They meet Kate, and Kate doesn't have this magical barrier that allows anyone else to see her. Because all the time Riri was with Anzu, she created this magical barrier that allows no one else around them to see her. Well, except when she's in human form, where you can see her, obviously.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But other than that, Kate has not nailed it down. She's not a really good wizard, this little creature was. Anzu grabs her wand and attempts to throw it down the toilet, or at least get it dipped in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, another turd.
Yeah. And you know what happens whenever a wand goes into a turd?
It doesn't work no more.
Well, for a long while.
For a while, anyway.
And in Anzu's case, she says her dad took a little bit of...
He had a dump a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty. Anyway, she tells Kate to bring back Riri so she could talk to him. So she summons him using the boss, whoever is in charge of magic, and brings Riri back. And she allows him to return in her male form, of course. And she grabs him and starts yelling at him, "Why didn't you tell me you're gonna leave?" Shaking him by the shirt, telling him why you didn't so much as say goodbye.
She liked Riri's company and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway,
in a funny way.
She then asks Riri that Riri. We don't discover Riri is actually in love with Anzu, as it turns out. And he was doing all that stuff to protect her and save her from the Kosovo.
Isn't that lovely?
And now that he did this taboo magic, he's no longer allowed in the world anymore because he broke the rules.
I know, yeah.
And he's now
code of conduct, all that sort of,
code of conduct, and he's now forced to clean the basement or
whatever. Whatever the punishment is in the magical world.
Yeah. Anyway,
what about it, clean up dog poo?
Anyway, Anzu asks Riri what he wants, and he says he wants to stay with Anzu for as long as possible. And so she asks Kate that Riri is a possible love interest because here's a 0.001 chance that he may become her successful love match, and you cannot deny the numbers. So Riri is allowed to stay
in the real world,
and Kate is forced to go and look for a new candidate to assist.
Yeah,
I won't tell you who because it's a big ultimate reveal on that one. Anyway. So, Anzu is happy that her free passions are back. Her parents have gone back over to America to work. So she and the Junta and Sasaka are still with her, and so she's still so she's got four love interests now, and of course, if she does not find true love by graduation, she will lose her favorite things again.
Chocolate,
her cat, her
games.
If she doesn't balance out a good love match with her free passions again.
Okay.
So if she doesn't find a love interest by then or ever, she's gonna lose him forever. Anyway, then we watch our heroes walk off in the sunset, and Riri remarks that Anzu's love game continues. I hope that they make a season 2. Anyway,
it would be nice.
We fade out. The end. That's it.
They ride off into the sunset on the horses. No.
Or they just go off to high school, whatever.
Yeah.
Considering this is high school.
Anyway, fade to black. Yeah.
Anyway, that is season 1 in Romantic Killer, whatever.
As this is an animated thingy-wingy, and there's not much for me to talk about. I can't say it was filmed here or there or whatever.
Yeah, I do wonder if they'll ever make this into a live action like they did with a lot of other
real human beings.
Anime-type cartoon stuff. I mean, they did it in the past with a few Japanese versions. They have.
We sort of Love Splash, whatever.
No, that was never an animated one, though it was implied it was, but I have never found any proof of it on Amazon or anywhere.
What was the other one we saw the other week?
No, not so much either.
No, that wasn't a cartoon. Even though she had a comic book and it was actually in the comic book.
It's implied, but
it's all implied.
don't.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't watch the
that was more of a book, but I can't really be sure if that's another animation or anime.
An anime, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It doesn't go into details, and it's hard to find these because they're not on sale in Australia.
Yeah. Anyway, can't say a lot.
Like
I said, right. All I can say is, I don't normally watch this sort of production.
Me neither. I usually like it. I mean, I've already watched a few. So far I've made a few. I have a few favorites. Not as I said before, I'm not going for the Sailor Moon Pokemon ones anymore because I think they're so.
They're kiddie ones.
They've been there, done that. I'm upping my game these days.
What I was trying to say is I don't normally watch this sort of thing. And it's obviously aimed for a teenage audience.
I agree.
But, like I said, I saw one recently, that thing we reviewed, aimed for teenagers. I didn't mind watching it. Yeah. It was good. It was fun. It was interesting. Yeah, it was cartoon, animated. Yeah, well, hello, so's Ice Age and Aladdin and stuff. I enjoyed those too. So I can't turn around and say I don't like it because it's cartoons.
Yeah, I'm at the moment reading the actual comic book. I got it in the mail today, and I'm a little surprised at the illustrations in it because This is the first ever comic and graphic novel that has coloured pictures. I mean, in the past it's all black and white.
It's cheaper to make that way.
Cheaper paper stuff like that.
What I was trying to say, having said all that, I mean, they have a funny style about them, funny humour, but I enjoyed it, and it's really worth a watch if you like fantasy. And if you don't mind animated and anime and manga and different things, it's a good watch. Yeah. And it's in English.
Yeah, that's something.
So you don't have to worry about watching subtitles. It's really good.
I also have the Japanese one in subtitle stuff, but I'm not sure if I would watch that one. I mean,
I hate subtitles.
I mean, sometimes it's good to read subtitles. You can learn a lot from another language. You know,
they go g'day. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Yeah, it's true. But you got to admit, Mike, whenever I do see something like this, you do find that there was some really good moments where some of those words are still in English.
They do sometimes. There are some words they use in foreign languages which are English because there's no foreign equivalent to it. So they will. My mother used to speak to her grandmother in Italian, and the odd English word would come out because there's no Italian word to explain what they're talking about.
I get it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I do like Anzu. I mean, she's very relatable, and I would have loved it if I showed this to my niece and nephew, or at least my niece, because she's all about the poo jokes. It's funny.
You like poos, yeah, poo,
yeah. But I don't think most of this other stuff is the right age bracket for her. I mean, there's some bad language in it that I don't want to share online here.
We are getting a bit long here at the moment.
I don't think... I'm not sure if kids can handle the whole... the part about the stalker thing. That's enough to scare you offline.
Yeah, but having said that, it's a good watch for a teenager.
I would agree.
Yeah, teenager, young adult. Yeah, if you like anime, or an older person if you don't mind watching that sort of stuff. Yeah,
and it deals with teen stuff,
social issues.
Like social issues. Having to deal with real dating scenarios. I mean, Riri, she was going by what people in books and cartoons they would do, even though cartoons and real relationships, and they don't always go the same way. No. Like, she assumed that when you go to a movie, you cuddle up to your loved one. Maybe you do cuddle and stuff like that, but you still may watch the movie.
Well, actually, when I was a young man, I went to the drive-in of this really good-looking blonde girl. Very attractive she was. I took her. I did everything right. So I thought. I took her there. I was a gentleman. I said, this is going to be a really good movie. We went to the drive-in and we sat in the front seat and we watched the movie because I wanted to watch the movie. And she didn't want to watch the movie. She was expecting something else. Needless to say, I think that's the last time she went out with me. Now,
yeah,
so
that is weird.
Funny, eh? Funny world.
It is a funny world. I mean, I guess the moral to that type of thing is that not all relationships are built on the same wavelength.
You got to be mindful what the other person is up to and thinking and wanting and body language and stuff. It gets very complicated.
Yeah. I mean, Riri was going by, it's not, I mean, while most of the times she keeps bringing up things like when they're all together under the same roof. Like, she says, maybe you should do something in the shower scene where I guess running to one of them in the shower and watch them.
Like a Psycho?
No.
That's a shower scene?
No, not like that.
Oh,
I'm referring to watching them, I guess, undressing or something.
Oh, actually,
walking in
accidentally walking in on them while they're in the shower. Oh, very, very nice. Hey, that's a good excuse. Oh, I didn't know you were in here.
Gee.
The water's on. I was singing, and you didn't know I was in here. Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Fine.
I remember one time walking in on. Well, never mind. I'm not going to go into details about that one. It's too embarrassing to mention.
I've had a few walk-ins.
Anyway, as I said before, most of these things don't always turn out to be like that. Sometimes, I mean, in this, throughout their relationship, living together, it was very platonic, if that's the word.
Ooh, that's a big word for you, isn't it?
Well, it was platonic. I mean, they acted like very friendly. Like they worked together. They helped each other make their lunches. They walked home from school together. And they meet up at the end of the day if after Anzu's done her work at the shops.
And all those good groovy things like that.
And they just hang out and they didn't go up. They didn't do anything that went beyond romantic.
No, they weren't naughty or anything, doing to hide the sausage or anything else.
Yeah. I mean, having two guys living in the same room, with one girl, is not exactly a very romantic scenario to my mind.
It's for the girl.
Yeah, if you're living in a harem.
Well, other way around though.
Yeah, well, if you watch reverse harems, that's always so weird.
No, which one I have tonight? Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving right along.
And
very
not to mention
now.
her assuming that they'll cuddle up, even though cuddling up with one guy while watching a movie at the same time is
you
just...
can do a sandwich. You can sit in the middle and have one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And they can snuggle and keep her warm.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay, now I was going to say, this is available on Netflix. It was released on Netflix, probably still available on Netflix. However, you can get it now on eBay, and I'll dare say that Amazon will have it shortly.
Yeah.
So, all that good groovy things. I am going to rate it now before Sarah keeps talking, and I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay, so I'm gonna, seeing as I'm a girl and Mike here is not, well, I'm
not a girl. Actually, I've got a deep voice. I've got whiskers, see, and I'm bald, and I've got a fat tummy. No, sorry.
Whenever I look at the series, every time I've watched it so far, I keep grinning from cheek to cheek, and that's...
It's a fun teen type movie, so yeah.
It doesn't happen with me when I'm watching American romance stuff. I mean,
it's
that's
a different
nice.
style of humour.
It's a different style of humour, and they get away with it.
It's fresh and innocent and stuff, and whatever.
Yeah, it's different for...
Different sort of humour.
Different sort of humour.
Yeah, it's like,
And it does make me feel a little gushy when it comes to the bits where the awkward moments.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Where
they touch on them quite well.
Where they either caught in a moment, or you keep wondering, are they going to kiss, or are they going to, or is she going to make that weird face she makes that says,
that sort of stuff.
Do not go near me.
Anyway,
I'm going to rate it 10 out of 10 myself.
I know. I thought you would.
Well, there's something interesting about it. I like it when her face goes from normal to I'm a very strong feminine type or manly type, like an Amazon type. It's funny, that part, and it's funny that she tries her absolute hardest, trying to use everything she can to make sure that they don't feel developing any hot feelings for her, even though they start developing them anyway.
It's really funny you talk about hot feelings, and in cartoons and stuff. You think about it, ordinary cartoons, like Darius and all those other, say American and the English ones, they don't have it as much.
No, they don't, technically.
They have these relationship things, but, oh, hello, I like you, you're really nice, but they don't develop the relationships like they do in the Asian ones.
I agree.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some of those animes, they do go really into it a little bit here.
A bit further, nothing nasty, no rude, nothing inappropriate, but they touch on relationships a little bit deeper. Interesting.
Yeah, I often think that my sister brought this up when she watched the new Sailor Moon, the Sailor Moon Crystal one. I mean, the Pretty Sailor Moon, the TV show that came out, and she was deeply annoyed when she found out there was a bit of bisexual relationships involved in it. And I kind of knew about this already before she even started watching it.
It's innocent enough. It's not in your face that much. So
I mean, it made me question it for a bit, but I kept the questions and those things to myself for a bit.
Yeah, that's not a biggie.
And I just took it as, okay, this is normal. Just watch it, enjoy it.
Enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, exactly right. Anyway.
Of course, I also heard that when they did do the English Sailor Moon ones, the ones from in the 90s, they kind of stopped the series when it got, I think to season 3, because the rest of the series that continued on, that remained in Japanese, that dabbled with a lot of, bisexual type relationships. And I guess America didn't want to bring that into kids' cartoons
You keep
now.
saying America. But it was going through America or just could have been transferred to English?
Transferred in English.
Well, it wasn't necessarily America. It could have been England or Canada or Australia.
Bear in mind, this was back in the 90s, and back then they didn't want to share this information to an underdeveloped audience.
To the Western world, it wasn't acceptable. How's that?
Yeah, I guess to the undeveloped audience, it's not. No, they're not ready yet.
No, it's not something. No, just we had our moral and censorship thingies and whatever, and they didn't want it. It wasn't acceptable in our culture. That's all it was. Yeah.
I only learnt about gay relationships until I went to high school.
Lord.
And that was when I started watching other teen-related TV series. That's where I started learning about that sort of thing.
Hey, are we ready now? You want to get past the sex part now?
Sorry. I do wonder in the next season, what kind of other relationships that she might get up to in the series? Will she meet a pop idol? That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, it's become necrophiliac. Oh, wow, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I don't know, but it would be something cool, like something that they've never thought of. That would be kind of cool. Even though a pop idol would be just like that wealthy, posh, snobby guy who's interested in her, but at the same time wants to buy her to
buy her love or affection and stuff. Yeah.
Even though that she's not really into that sort of thing.
Anyway, kill us.
So I guess we'll have to kill it soon. Mm-hmm. So I can't help it. It's really a great series to watch.
Go on a bit, doesn't
and
it?
I do hope that in the next they do make a season 2, that they'll continue growing the series at least. It does annoy me that so many anime series that they just cut off to one season and then that's it. No more seasons and all that stuff. And moving on to another anime that will hopefully grab the audience and never let them go. I get annoyed when they don't continue this. And it remains like an unconcluded series. Like I like Sailor Moon and Pokemon that have probably included eventually throughout.
They possibly, but those sort of things don't need to have an ending.
I know, Mike.
But you look at things like those old TV shows that Alan Irwin did, like Time Tunnel and whatever, and Land of the Giants and stuff.
Yeah.
They just stopped the series with no ending.
I know,
so
but series like
people never got home.
But series that either take hold or develop an audience, they should at least please the audience enough to finish the story.
Exactly.
And at least try to get them to finally set aside what's been happening and just try to end it on a...
Yeah, do something. If you know you're going to wind it down, try to actually have a closing episode. It would be really nice.
Yeah, something that
put the icing on the cake before you put it in the box.
I've seen several seasons that promise a season 2 but never get developed.
Yeah.
And this is nowadays because they just think, okay, we've done this, now let's move on to another anime.
Well, look at Lucifer. They did what? How many seasons the first time up? 2 or 3?
No, there were about the first were 3, and I think
they did 3. So I'm going to cancel it.
Wait, it was actually 2. But then another studio took over.
Yeah, but they said we're going to cancel it. There's a bit of a problem, so someone else took it over doing it. We did done 2 or 3 episodes. 2 or 3 seasons, wasn't it? Yeah.
A lot of protesting went down about that.
Why the hell kill something that's working? You know.
I agree, Mike. I agree. I thought that by now we've gotten over this sort of thing, and we could probably
and if it's making money.
Don't can it right away. Just finish the story.
Saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you've got a good TV program or whatever it is that's working, and it is making money, obviously people are watching it. Well, why are you going to kill it? Hello?
Yeah, it's already developing...
The goose that laid the golden egg? Ring any bells, folks?
If it's developing an audience, I say leave it alone and let it take its course eventually.
Exactly.
I'm hoping that when we review Wednesday, which I imagine by now when we release this review, the Wednesday TV series is already out, and we'll probably look at reviewing that next time.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next time you see us, we'll probably be reviewing Wednesday, the TV series.
Once we get a chance to look at it, is it going to all come out in one hit?
I hope so. I
heard
it will come out in one full hit. I'm hoping so.
I hope so. Yeah. It'll be good.
Because then it will give me and Mike. We'll watch together.
Yeah, you put the kettle on, get some chips, popcorn,
and maybe some nice lollies to make it.
And cocky biscuits,
Well, technically I'm on a diet.
She's on a diet. I should be on a diet.
And I'd rather not damage the process.
Okay.
Anyway, that's about it for us tonight, guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully by then we will be reviewing Wednesday, the TV series that Tim Burton
that's
developed.
Happening soon. Yes.
So hopefully the next time you see us, we'll be reviewing that one.
Depending if we get all the things watched here.
Yeah, very soon we'll probably be working out our Christmas movie themes. Very soon too, because we're getting close to Christmas time, and it's time.
We do Black Christmas or something or other.
We've already done that.
Oh, bugger. How about Nightmare Before Christmas?
Maybe we haven't done that yet.
I know it's an animated one, but we just did an animated one. Okay, but
anyway, we'll work that out. I mean, I think I also have the Gremlins I have been putting off for the last couple of 2 years.
That's a Christmassy one, isn't it?
That's a Christmassy one, and I haven't bothered to review that because I've been so lazy. So anyway,
we'll have to find some Christmassy shows, horror movies, or and fantasies we can actually drag out of the drawer and review.
Drag out the drawer and get our heads into it. All right, that's about it for us tonight, guys. Feel free to check out Romantic Killer and let us know in the comments
any of the old other ones we've done.
Pretty good. Which one is your favorite of the guys that in the series? And which ones would you think Anzu should be dating? Let us know in the comments which one you think.
Riri.
Let us know in the comments which you think is the best
the rich guy.
one.
Lots of money.
Don't tempt these guys. The
rich guy. He can buy anything he likes.
Anyway, it's up to you guys which one you think is the best, and let us know in the comments what you guys think is the best one too for Anzu to date.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a bit tonight. So be sure to check us out again in our last few episodes, and let us know in the comments how we did in this episode. All right, that's about it tonight. So this is Sarah Stephenson
and Michael
saying see you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.